So what up, y'all? I guess I'm full of bad luck with this thing. I crashed this into a lake. I don't know how I did it. I don't know what I did. I'm gonna just claim operator error on this one. I lost signal, and it took a long time to come back. When it came back, it was already on like emergency powers at 28%. That's when it popped up in the goggles because I started walking towards where I last knew I disconnected. And my wife even said, come back over the road. And me, like a dummy, I was flying over a lake because it was really nice sunset, and the red was playing nice off the water. I was doing some, flyovers, whatnot with the red and all this. And so I said, let me come back over the lake because it's the shortest way also. And I stopped over the lake. I took off the goggles so that I could, per sight land the drone. And when I took the goggles off, my wife was screaming like, oh my gosh, baby. And I just heard a splash. And this thing just landed in the water. Now, this lake is always like fuzzy. There's just a fine, super fine silt always in the water. And so this thing is covered with this super fine sand. Get this though, it was still working underwater. Lights were on, camera was working, everything was working underwater. She pulled it out of the water and the running lights and everything were still working. So I told her, just yank the battery out. I said, just yank the battery out. I said, I don't care about anything, just pull it out. So she just pulled the battery out. Hopefully that saves it. But what I'm gonna do now, since it's already wet, I'm gonna wash at least the silt out of the gimbal and the engines. I'm not gonna wash anything else, maybe the inner carriage, and then I'm gonna let it dry for like a week. So that's what I'm doing now. I'm just gonna try and wash the silt from that lake out of the moving parts, because when it dries, I have the impression it's gonna work. Since it was working underwater perfectly fine, that it's still gonna work. Did you see that chunk coming out of there? That's not good. I might as well just wash this whole thing out. Some sort of weird lake gunk just popped out of there. Oh shoot, this super hot water heaters. German houses, I don't know if that's good or bad. I guess it's just water, it doesn't matter. I'm washing a drone. It makes a difference, it's hot or cold. Oh geez. Me and this drone. This is like, how many accidents have I had with this thing so far? I don't even know. It's cursed. It's cursed. I'm just gonna wash out the inner carriage also, since I'm just go ahead and doing this. I'm gonna try and get inside the thing here. This little hood, I should take the hood off, but whatever. Because it was underwater for at least 20 minutes till my wife's a champ. She goes out into the lake, takes off her stuff. We're Muslims. She takes off her hijab, her headscarf. She never goes out without it. She usually covers her face. She's like one of those ones, that wears all black, covers her face. She's one of those. She takes everything off, hair out, jumps in the water. She wades out there. There was nobody out there in the middle of the night, so she wasn't worried about being seen. But it was like, whoa, okay, baby, you go, girl. Look at that. Look, you see those chunks? Those chunks are coming out of my drone. Look at that. You see that? That's coming out of there. That's not good. So that tells me I need to just I probably need to take the top off and rinse this out. Yeah, I'll probably do that, but I can't do that since I'm one-handed and my wife's not filming for me. So she just took a shower because the water has a very, very fishy smell. It has nothing to do with her private parts, guys. She's a very hygienic woman. Me and this drone. No, this thing's gonna be the death of me. Oh, dang, look at that. See, more lake parts. Yeah, guys, I'm gonna have to take this apart. Just thought I'd fill you in on my cursed DJI FPV experience. You guys stay up. Okay, so after a bunch of prying and twisting and looking for my DJI tool, I don't know if you guys can see it. Let me turn on this light too. It's like, this is what that stuff looks like right here. There's a lot of it. Can you hear that? There's a whole ton of that inside of this thing. I took the hood off, and when I washed the hood, there was like a whole bunch of chunks in here. I should have recorded it, but it came off and I just washed it off immediately. But yeah, it took me a lot of work to get this hood off, actually. It was crazy. So I'm gonna wash this out even more and let it dry. But yeah, see all the lake gunk coming out down there? I don't know if you guys can see that on video, but woo, that's a lot. That sand has very high particulates in it, a very large amount of particulates. And it's never clear, the lake. It's always like sandy, it's always foggy and fuzzy. And so yeah, all that sandy fuzzy stuff. Get the fan in here. I'm hoping this doesn't kill it, you know, give it the death knell. But like I said, it was working underwater in that cruddy water. So I'm just gonna rinse it out. Still chunks coming out. Oh my. And yeah, look at it. You see the chunks floating in there? Oh gosh. Wow, it's crazy. Crazy. But I'm gonna give it a rinse. I don't think this is good, but if it doesn't work, I actually bought the after my crash, everybody's like, oh, just buy the DJI Care refresh thing. I bought it. So if this doesn't work, I'll just take it to, you know, I'll send it in for repair again. But this should be some interesting video because, like I said, the drone was working underwater. So this should be some interesting video. It should have still been recording underwater. So I'm just gonna rinse this out a little bit more. What's important to me actually just the moving parts and the gimbal, but I figured, hey, why leave stuff in here that could potentially, you know, short circuit something. So I figured I'd give it a good wash. What am I doing here? A good wash. We're washing a drone and I'm saying a good wash. Oh my. Look at that. See? There's still junk coming out there. That's all from the lake. I'm going to turn this off and give it a more thorough wash because I'm trying to do this one-handed. I'll use my little spray gun here and we'll see how this turns out. Okay, so I put the drone above my crypto miners. It's nice and hot here and toasty. You know, air dries out really fast. So I put it upside down, hoping with the idea that it's going to drain out, you know. We'll see if that actually works. I want the, you know, the largest amount of the water to just sort of drip and drain out. I put a towel here so it doesn't drip down on my laptops or anything. I don't know if this is going to work. But yeah, you can see the water running down it there. So that part of the plan's working. It's dripping out on the towel. So we'll see how this goes. And hopefully this thing, I'm gonna give it about a week. I can only fly like once a week anyway, like on weekends or like days when the weather's really well. And this is Germany, so the weather's not always really good. And so it should probably be a week before I'm ready to fly anyway. Got my screws up here, and the thing, the hood. I'll put this here too so nothing gets separated. And then my little gimbal guard thing. So I got all the chunks out, the lake chunks. Let's hope this thing works. I'll keep you guys updated.